Our guest is Alec Russo, who is the students ministry pastor at Echoes Church, and he talks about his journey from starting the student ministry at Echoes Church to what it is today, and really what his future vision is for the church, as well as his love for students. This is a fantastic episode. I can't wait for you to listen. Well, our guest today is Alec, and Alec leads the student ministries over at Echoes Church, which is our church. And I have a special co-host today, my daughter Elise. This will be fun. So thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We love that we get to connect with people in our community, in our churches, and really love hearing their stories. And as we were sharing off camera, you actually are native to Arizona, which is kind of rare. So tell us, where did you grow up and how did you get to be in the position that you're in now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I grew up in Chandler, Arizona my whole life. So yeah, definitely a rarity to be a native.
Yeah.
I went to a small school that doesn't exist anymore, Bethany Christian School, which is now Valley Christian's like junior high campus. So super small Christian school. I went to Santan Junior High.
Okay.
And then jumped into the big pool at Perry High School.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and then I went to GCU. But yeah, literally did not move from like a 5-mile radius
awesome.
my whole life. Gilbert Road was like my main domain.
Yeah.
And then yeah, after GCU, got engaged like a month after. And
how did you meet your wife?
In high school. So we've been together for over 12 years now.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, which is crazy.
Did she go to GCU too?
No, she went to ASU.
Oh, okay.
But we went to the same high school. So,
okay.
But
and then what did you study at GCU?
Christian studies with emphasis in youth ministry.
Okay. Did you do it in 3 years?
No, 4.
It took 4.
Yeah. My wife graduated in almost 2 years, so I was just like, yeah. So she's the brains of our operation for sure. So, and she double majored. So
what are her majors?
Econ and finance from ASU's Honors College.
So hard. Like,
yeah, it's just like, you can have all the math.
Yeah,
it's
right.
not for me.
Right.
So
you're like, I'll take the people.
Yes, for sure. People is my thing. Math
How did you know what you wanted to study?
It was through like a wild conversation, just some like tragedy that went on in my dad's family. And what's so funny is I thought I was getting in trouble the day my dad was coming home to deliver this news about his brother passing away. I thought he was about to bring up my past of what I did post senior year. And I was sitting there ready to receive it. And then he pivoted to tell me that his brother passed away. And I didn't know where else to run besides the local church. So I called my youth pastor at the time. I was like, hey, can I just like come hang out with you? He's like, yeah, I'm in a meeting. And when I got there, they're like, how are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, wasn't about to talk about my feelings.
Yeah.
And then literally it snowballed from there from, hey, can you come help with this? And then it was one event to another, to a camping trip, and then eventually I was like, why am I here, God?
Right.
Like, why do I keep ending up here?
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I had a paid internship at that church, and
that's cool.
It's just a giant snowball effect of God pulling me into this.
What church was that?
I was at the Grove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was at the Grove for about 10 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, so about 8th grade all the way through college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you decide, I want to go into ministry. That's what I'm going to study. What was that experience like at GCU?
It was a good time. I was not we were talking a little bit ago, I was not the brains of our operation. So I barely got into like Chandler Gilbert.
Yeah.
So that was my plan and my track. I was originally going to EVIT. That was my plan. I wanted to work on cars for my entire life.
Okay.
So, and then God got a hold of my heart and was like, hey, you're going to hang out with teenagers.
Yeah.
So then once I switched that at Chandler Gilbert, started taking philosophy, world religion, everything that a public university could offer, and then switched everything to GCU. And it was good. It was fun, but commuting from South Chandler to GCU 3 to 5 days a week in a big F-250 is kind of rough.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you lived on campus because
no.
the drive is not fun.
Yeah, and that was hard too because like the more I got invested at GCU and the more I loved what I was studying for the first time in my life, I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, like you coming over? You going to the game? I'm like, no, I've got an hour and a half drive home. Like if I don't leave now, I'm going to be stuck in traffic forever.
Yeah.
So that was definitely hard. The more I was there, the more I liked being there, the more I liked being with my classmates.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what God has for me is in Chandler right now.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to be at GCU more. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elise, did you tell him you went
I
to
did
GCU?
like a semester and a half at GCU, and I realized it was not for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it was a good school, so
Yeah. That commute though, we'd always have to plan She lived on campus, but she would come home a lot. Not a lot, but
Weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to plan that drive.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool that you knew, or you, I would say, felt God's call on your life to go in a certain direction. So, okay, so you graduate, you get engaged.
Yeah. So graduate, thought I was going to work at that church. God started opening and closing doors. Sold my truck that I was commuting in to buy the ring. And then literally, like shortly thereafter, got a phone call to go work at Cornerstone Church. And at that point I was like, I just need a job.
Yeah.
So ended up jumping on their students team and ended up staying there for 6 years. Got married that year, 2019. So we've been married for almost 6 years now.
Awesome.
We've got 3 dogs that we treat like kids. And then now we have 2 kids. So
That is awesome.
Yeah. So we got a house full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do have a house full.
Yes.
What kind of dogs?
3 mini Australian Shepherds.
Oh, are
So-
those like hairy?
Yeah, our Dyson vacuum gets every dollar worth. We're on our second Dyson in 5.5 years. It's a lot of dog hair.
That's a
for
lot.
sure.
That's awesome.
So, but thankfully they're mini, so they're not
Yeah.
too
Okay.
big.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah,
I love dogs.
So-
Elise love dogs too.
yeah.
Yes.
So they're a good time.
Okay, so Cornerstone,
Yeah.
you're there leading students. How was that?
It was a good time. Definitely got a lot of experience on the high school team, middle school team, and
Yeah.
then just filling in gaps in between, and learned a lot and like started to wrestle out like, all right, God, like you got me in this for the long haul. Like
Yeah.
I want to learn all the things I need to know, and
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was going to be there forever. I think a lot of us think that when we're
Yes.
somewhere
Yeah.
or we're in a relationship, at a job. And then, I was approaching the 6-year mark, and this crazy guy named Daniel Golding was like, hey, man, we should talk about you coming to Echoes
Yeah.
Church. And I was like, I don't know if we should.
Yeah.
So, and here we are a few months
How
later.
did he hear about you?
We had been friends mutually, and honestly,
Okay.
I just always kind of liked that he is good at golf and likes
Yeah.
playing golf, and we were friends. And I always wanted just a free Echoes hat for a while,
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure. They're so cool.
And then we were sitting down at a conference that Cornerstone was hosting, and literally he's like, hey, you should come do youth ministry for us.
That's awesome.
And so, it was a lot of prayer and a lot of wrestling, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then God just made it so abundantly clear that he's like, hey, like, every time you tell your students, every time to take a leap of faith and like walk in obedience, he's like, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
So it was just, it's one of those moments where you're like, all right, like I gotta live out what I talk
Yeah.
about every single day.
So you started the ministry, right?
Yeah.
At Echoes.
Practically, yeah.
So what does that look like?
Yeah, so when I came in, the junior high ministry was going, and Jack, that's our middle school director now, was like, just had gotten there a little bit before me. But I think we had like 10 or 11 students, like my first day. And I was like, okay, this is a lot different than what I'm used to. But I knew that middle school was on the rise because it was just 7th and 8th grade. But Daniel wanted to be 6th through 8th and this whole big picture. And it felt like a daunting task, but I was like, all right, God, like you got me here for a reason.
Yeah.
And so we just started building and recruiting, and now we've built a team of just over 60 leaders now.
Wow.
That we started with, I think, 5 leaders when I got there.
Wow.
So it's just been really cool to see God just blessing that, and people just flocking towards it and just wanting to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So
middle school and high school, those are like hard times.
yeah.
Like awkward middle school years, right? High school, figuring out who they are, what does it mean to be an adult. And I imagine that a youth pastor in that role it could be so important.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some of the philosophies that kind of guide what your vision is for that ministry?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when I came into student ministry a while ago, like I had every idea under the sun that I was like, I want to do all these things and change all these things. And I was just talking about it last night at middle school, that the biggest thing about 5 years ago that just hit me like a bag of bricks out of nowhere is I was like, man, I want to make sure every student feels and is told every single time that they are loved and that they are known. So my mantra for multiple years was, you are known and you are loved.
Yeah.
Like that is the only thing that matters. And it's like, if I can do that on like behalf of Jesus Christ and usher them into a relationship with him, and then doing that on a friendship basis, I was like, God will take care of everything else.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I had a lot of like fun ideas and cool things that I thought like would be marked out, and threw all that out the window and started going off of that one sentence. And it changed everything.
That's amazing. So I think that is such a good lesson for anything, right? Is to kind of know what your goal is and then work everything backwards and make sure everything aligns up with that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's super powerful too. So many of our students, I think, struggle and just are like, does anybody even see me? Am I known? And so just to have that recognition is so powerful.
For sure. Yeah. And I think a lot of us, like, we look at like what we experience as our home life, and I've got 2 great parents that live together and are still married over 30 years. And it's like, oh, everyone's got to have that same thing. And then you start having these conversations, and at least for myself over the last decade, I'm like, oh, not every student has that same home life.
Yeah.
And not every student just wakes up and it's like, hey, I'll see you when you get home, honey. Like, I love you.
Yeah.
So literally every time I bring it up, I'm like, hey, like, I don't know, some of you walked out of your house to even get to youth group tonight.
Yeah.
And no one said, hey, I love you. Like, I can't wait to see you when you get home. And it's like, if we get to be that person for them when we have them for an hour and a half, it's like, I'm going to take every opportunity and tell them how much we love them and how much Jesus loves them.
That's amazing.
So.
What do you see, like, what's the biggest thing you're seeing, like, youth facing right now?
I think it's ever changing. But I think right now, and especially the light of the recent of everything in the last couple of weeks, is just they feel like there is a mountain of brokenness and suffering that is like they can't get around it, they can't get over it. Us as believers, we know that Jesus has conquered the world and he's greater than all, but when someone is just without Christ and without hope and they're just staring at this mountain of life, I think it seems for them impossible. And I think that's why we saw, especially with COVID and everything, like a rise of suicidal thoughts and things like that and self-harm. And I think the lack of hope youth have right now is dauntingly high. And they start to make some pretty rash decisions when they don't have someone reminding them of that.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's so true. I think that you see that in adults too, right?
Yeah.
Like just the brokenness in the world. And I heard someone say that when you see that brokenness or the unjust or unfairness, it really should remind us that this isn't our forever home, our heaven is our forever home, right? And that just shows us that this isn't where we're supposed to be forever. But it's easier said than done.
1,000%. Yeah.
You've seen it in your time then, the rise of social media and phones and all of that. What are your thoughts and how that's impacted?
Yeah. I'm like the best and the worst for this because like I love social media. I love my phone probably too much.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a balance. It's so hard. But I think the hard part is like there's not a happy medium, and I don't know how and I don't know when, but we gotta find it because it's like anything. I think a lot of us end up in this pendulum world, and it's like I'm gonna throw my phone away. I'm gonna get a flip phone, and like I don't want to be addicted to things I am. And it's like okay, but then eventually you go back and you get your phone, and it's like you just swing back to all those things.
Yeah.
So it is really hard. It I think has ruined a lot of the connective relationships that humans have. So many pastors and communicators say it. It's like we're the most connected that we've ever been, but we're the most isolated. And it's so true. It is so true. It's like you sit there and you're like, I've got 1,000 followers. It's like, cool. If like crap hits the fan, like who are you calling? And it's no one on that list. Like if you don't have like 4 to 5 people in your life that you can call and say, hey, I'm having a bad day and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It's like you need those people in your life.
For sure.
So yeah, I think that's the hard part is we've gotten so hyped up with like, I want to have all this like clout and hype and all this stuff. And we like it, and we all do, and myself included. But it's like if you don't have those friends where it's like I can call you for a hard time, or literally I called my friend for a good laugh last night. I was like, dude, you got to hear this story. And he literally, we were just laughing on the phone. I was like, cool, bye. Like I'll talk to you later. Like you need those relationships in your life for the highs and the lows for sure. And I think we're struggling with that right now.
Today's episode is sponsored by Stacy Williams with Bright Mortgage. Reach out to Stacy for all your home lending and refinance needs. He is the best. Thank you for watching the episode. You know, our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you. Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. I think that's why community is so important, because I think we all have that desire inside of us to be connected and to be in a community and to be known, like you were saying earlier. So to be where in a position where you can help foster that can be so powerful.
Yeah.
Both Elise and Mallory lead groups, and I've seen how they've been blessed through that, and that's so cool. What would you say when it comes to your leaders, right? Because you can't do this alone.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the philosophies and things you try to teach them or lead them with?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like it's not about you anymore. It's like you're stepping into this awkward gap. I think that is one of the biggest thing that leaders have to do, especially in a church setting, is like you are going to step into a gap that sometimes you don't know what's in that gap for that student. And it's also really hard. Like I remember the first time back in the middle of May, we had 15 or 18 leaders to start, which felt amazing. And literally I was like, hey, like you like have to throw all of what you want out the door because we don't know them. Like literally Echo's Youth was starting.
Right.
And I was like, they don't know us. We don't know them. Like you are going to have to be so on the front line of like, hey, like I'm Tom, nice to meet you. Like, and being over the top and winning in the relationship side.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell them, like, if you don't win in relationships, you're not going to win at all.
For sure.
Like you can, like we could do all the fun things on stage, or you can bring in cookies or whatever, but it's like if you don't have a relationship with them, it's not going to be authentic at all.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, and that's my strength too, is relationship. It's like we're going to out relationship anyone in their life. Their coaches, sometimes even their parents, like any of that. Like we're going to be a safe, consistent person in their life through relationship.
Yeah.
So.
And you have kids. I don't know this for a fact, like it's not, but I can imagine that aren't believers. Yeah. You have believers, right? You have all like ranges. How do you cultivate a message that reaches all of that? Like what is your focus when it comes to the message?
For sure. Yeah, I think there's a two-pronged answer to that, especially for Echoes right now. Like the model we've built, like what we're in right now, like our youth nights, what we had last night, and this Sunday is like, that is the night that I'm like, hey, Christians, bring your friends that don't know Jesus. This past one, we handed out invite cards. And I'm like, you better bring everybody here. Yeah. Because it's like, we're believing that someone's life could be changed for this. Yeah. But then on those weeks where it's not that big invite night, it's like, hey, like we want to build up the saints. Like we want to build up this church of now, not this whole like, hey, you'll figure this out when you're older. It's like, no, you're going to be the church of now and get this figured out right now for yourselves. So when you go out into your Gilbert Christian, Perry High School, all these different schools, and it's like, you're going to be the light of the world, the salt of the earth in a way that someone has to look at their life and be like, oh, they're different.
I love that.
Like, that's the whole goal. It's like, hey, we want the saints to be the saints, but it's like you still got to go be the light and the salt. And it's like if you don't got that light and the salt, it's like you're missing something. For sure. So that's the main mantra right now. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that idea of like getting them to invite their friends.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I know obviously I have a son, 13, Chase, and he is the same, like always wants his friends to come and be there. And it just becomes like, that's where we go on Wednesday nights. Yeah.
And I think getting back, I think there's a shift right now too, that through community of like what Chase and everybody, like it's that relationship side. But I think church right now, and especially this next generation, they want church to look like church. Probably back when I was barely in church and like when we were all grown up, that looks a little bit more liturgical. There's the sacraments a little bit more involved in the service. And I think just through high school, like we've seen the fruit of that so prevalent. Every week in that, we've taken a moment of response at some weeks, some pretty great lengths to ask students to respond to the gospel. And the gospel is weird and it's complicated and it's messy, but it's like the gospel is freeing and it's powerful. So it's like every week we present it in a way, it's like, hey, we don't want to have a lip service faith, as Pastor Daniel always says. So it's like, if he's believing that for the big room, like we're going to believe that for our teenagers too. So every week they have a moment to get out of their chairs and do something to respond.
That's awesome. I think there's been this movement with the church is where youth group is just fun. Yeah. And you're completely missing the point. Yeah. And so I think that's so cool to hear you say that.
Yeah. And what's funny is I've caught myself going the other way.
Really?
When I met Daniel, like we were talking about stuff and like reviewing some stuff and he goes, where's the fun? Yeah. And I was like, all right, like, so I've had to catch myself even going the other way. He's like, we still got to have some fun. I was like,
Yes.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So we're finding our balance of like, hey, we got to have fun. We got to break the awkwardness a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, when it's time to get down to it, it's like, we're going to be unapologetic
For
about
sure.
the Word of God and how we are in relationship with Him.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's been a good time doing it.
I love how involved you guys are with the community. Like you guys were just at Gilbert Christian football game and other schools I've heard you say. So how important is it to pour into that next generation and like bring them up to the future leaders?
Yeah, I think that's been so funny. It's been something on my heart for so long. And I've always said like, oh, I'll get to it next quarter, next semester, next school year. And I've been doing this for 10 years. And this is the year that I'm the most involved I've ever been.
Nice.
And it's so like empowering for my own walk with Jesus, but also just like being in the community has been so fun. Like,
That's awesome.
and I've always been around it, but I never have been in the trenches to this level, and it's been super rad. We're one of the stakeholders at Desert Ridge, where Echoes meets for FCA. We're one of the main stakeholders for Eastmark's FCA. We're at Gilbert Christian's football game. So we've got our crew tomorrow night, but I'm going to try to run out and make it over to Gilbert Christian's game.
Yes.
So we want to be there, and it's super rad. Literally, when I ran into Elise at the game, we just went to go get a bottle of water, and we never made it back to our seats. Just literally because so many people in the community there just hanging out and just wanted to have a good time.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I think, and for as a student to see you there is like, wow. Like, I think that's such a cool example for them.
Yeah, a few of them are like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you want us to? I was like, you said you want to hang out. So, but then I was like, when it's like, oh, hey, like me and my wife, we're just here to like hang out with you guys. They're like, oh, that's super rad.
I love
it's like,
it.
yeah, don't make it weird, man.
Right.
It's like, I know it's like seeing your teacher out in like the grocery store, but it's like, it's going to be okay. I was like, you can go run around. So
That's awesome.
It creates that like deeper relationship. And I think sometimes you see like your pastor on stage and it's almost like a celebrity almost, and it just creates a deeper relationship, which is so cool for the youth.
Yeah, and I think there's like, I always tell people like, it's always good like in ministry, there's always like a closet just full of junk.
Yeah.
I always tell every young youth pastor, I'm like, it's good for you to go clean that closet every once in a while. It's good for you to get out, go to like a FCA, go to a football game. I'm like, just go be a normal person.
I love it.
Because every young person, a lot of young dudes, but young women as well, like everyone wants the stage. And I'm like, hey, like, you got to want it all. Like, you got to want to meet the teenager where they're at before any of that.
Yeah.
So, but it's been super rad, and it's been super fun. And I'm like one of the discipleship group leaders for Gilbert Christian now. I have no idea what that means, but I'll find out next week at chapel. But yeah, we're just super pumped to be a part of the community.
I love it. I've been wanting Echoes to get more involved in the school, so that's really cool.
No, we're pumped.
What's next for Echoes Youth Student Ministries?
Honestly, the big thing that we're like right now, just crunching everything, is it sounds super far away, but it's summer camp.
Yes.
Like we didn't have camp this year. Like we all felt all sorts of ways about it.
Yes.
But we've been grinding and planning and literally about to pull the trigger on getting our spots ready for summer camp next year. So yeah, we're so pumped just for the fun of what summer camp brings, but also like what we know, like what we're gonna do and make heaven more crowded
100%.
after those 2 weeks of camp. Like we are so pumped.
Yeah.
Like we're pumped to see students get baptized. Like we are just fired up. But yeah,
camp is powerful.
Yeah.
Elise, I mean, you have a whole testimony around summer camp and how it changed your life. So we're all about it.
Yeah, no, I love it. But yeah, that's right now. We're in like crunch time. So which is crazy that it's in September, but yeah, it goes quick. So
you have to, right?
Yeah, and their spots like sell out. So it's like it's like a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
So it literally is. They're like, hey, if you don't buy them this day, like we don't know if you're getting a spot.
Right, yeah.
It's like, all right, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. So yeah, we're stoked.
So on those lines, somebody listening, maybe a parent thinking, should I send my kid, or or a kid that's like, I don't know if I want to go. Like, what would you say to them?
To the parent, I'm going to step on some toes a little bit. That it's like, as much as we want to send our kids to the volleyball camps and the football camps and all those, it's like, if you believe in the holistic version of your student and your child, as much as I am for my 2-year-old and my 8-month-old, it's like, hey, you got to also be able to fork up the dollars to send them to summer camp, even if it's maybe not the thing that the parent is A1 priority. Yeah. But it's like, hey, like the kid playing lacrosse, like the parents aren't out there playing. Right. It's because they want to play. So you're going to spend the money and send them to camp. Yeah. It's like, if he wants to go to church camp too and have a good time and learn about Jesus, it's like, you should make a way too for them to get there. And for the students, I'd say like, hey, you never know what God's got for you. And if it's for whatever it might be, the competition aspect, or for high school camp, we're going to go to the beach. It's like, maybe that's what gets you there. And it's like, that's great. Like spending time in community at the beach is awesome. But it's like, hey, like what if that could lead to something even greater that could change the rest of your eternity?
I love that.
Yeah, we're excited and we're believing something big for it. So
I think that is so cool. It's been really cool to see Echoes as a church grow, and just to see the need. And I know there's a lot of talk of like a revival, right? Where I think, to your point earlier, the events of last week, the tragedy with Charlie Kirk's assassination, it was like everywhere we turned, there was a school shooting, the woman getting stabbed on the train, like just horrible, horrifying events. And to see the country respond, not only grieve together, but then also look to God together. I know so many people that are like, I'm opening up my Bible for the first time, right? Like our church was packed. So many churches were packed. I think it's amazing, and there's so much to be said for like inside of all of us is this need to know God, and there's so many distractions that can pull us away from that. And so if all you can do is just get yourself to church, like that's it, just get yourself there.
And I think in that, it's like, hey, if you're open to just even stepping up into a church building, it's like, man, like God's got something for you, and it might just be planting that seed, or it might be maybe on a spontaneous baptism day, like you're up there. But yeah, I know it's been super powerful to see, and I think there's been a few tragedies, even today's Thursday, but since Monday too, and it's like, man, like you can't catch a break. But I think just through the insane amount of evil in the world, like God's like, hey, like I've already conquered the world, and like I'm gonna show you guys like what's up. And it's been super rad, like even in the light of like Charlie Kirk, of his funeral on Sunday, it's like I'm just like already believing in it, like getting goosebumps talking about like that football stadium's gonna be packed for the name of Jesus. And that's gonna be so rad to see, hopefully over 50,000 people there just worshiping the Lord because of what he did.
Totally. I bet, because you've been doing this a little while, you have some really cool stories with students. Do you have any that stand out that you could share?
Oh man, that you'd want to hear? Teenagers are kind of crazy.
I know that.
There's a few of like our young leaders. One out of the middle school ministry I was a part of. I think a lot of times, myself included, that I'm like, man, like even though I'd say it all the time, I got to catch myself. But I'm like, man, like what good could like this 12-year-old do? And in my past ministry, I had this 12-year-old, this girl that came in. I think I met her right in 6th going into 7th grade. And she was just like, hey, like I want to be a part of this. And like, I was like, okay. And like when a 12-year-old says that about church, you're like, cool, I'll see you once a month and like you're going to help out. And literally God got a hold of her heart and has done something radically. And like, she is now a pillar of that ministry still, even post. Like it was hard. Like when I announced like I was moving out and leaving, like that team was crushed, but literally she's stayed faithful and has been a pillar. She sings on the worship team. She's on the student leadership team. And it's just been like, hey, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with, even as an 8th grader. And I was like, let's go. Like that fires me up.
That's a little lesson in there. Like it doesn't matter how old you are, there's something that you can do that can make a difference and have an impact. That's really cool. For sure.
Everyone's got influence. It's just are you willing to leverage it? So, and do you have positive influence or negative influence? So, because a lot of teenagers have negative influence too, and they just need maybe one positive influence to change that. So, and then one other student that literally, she graduated and had always been around the church, and is now on the old student team that I had just left. But she's on the team and has been a part of the church staff and wants to be a part of that church, local church body. So it's been super rad for people to be like, hey, this is the church that raised me up, that built me. And they're like, I want to be a part of continuing to do that for the next generation. So it's really rad to see. It's like, cool, like I've gotten to have a hand on this. It's like, it was all God, but it's like, it's super rad to be like, hey, like, I know I had a part of that. So
to that point, if somebody is listening and maybe they feel a little stir in them that maybe ministry is where they want to go, what would you say to them?
I think the call to ministry is a wild thing to flush out, and it's been something I was literally talking to a volunteer yesterday, is flush it out with people in your life. Like talk to God, one priority, but like get people in your life to like reaffirm this call and start to do the whole like, hey, what I see in myself, I see in you. And that's what changed the game for me of like, when someone's like, hey, I think you could do this vocationally. I was like, I don't think so, man. Like, I don't think so. But like, all of us have one point have had a mentor in our lives. And for the power of that, to flush that out of this calling of, hey, maybe vocational ministry is the thing. But to every student out there, or maybe even an older person listening to this, like, hey, like lean into that. I always tell people, I'm like, hey, if this is an itch or a calling, or you're just trying to flush out what it is, just show up. Just show up, just serve, and be willing to go clean that closet we were talking about. If that's like what the need is, hey, if it's setting up at Coast Church on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. and it's not the limelight, but it's like, if you really want to flush out what this calling is, just show up, and God will anoint that and bless that. And I think that's something that took me as a young man to wrestle out, that it's like, no, it's like what I want versus what they want. And it was like butting heads. And it was like, no, it was clearly what I want. And it was like, God's like, no, that's not for you. I'm going to send you here. And so, I think God will continue to open doors and close the right doors as you flush that out. So that's the biggest thing, but willing to stay leaning into that, even when someone shuts the door in your face and said, hey, it might not be this room or right now, but like, I've got this. And for you not to be like, oh, like my life's over. It's like, nope, you just thought what you wanted versus what God wants. For sure. Looks a little different.
I love that. What do you need, or what does your ministry need?
More awesome people like your daughters to be leaders. Man, I think honestly right now, like we were talking about the mountain of suffering that people are facing, is just people praying for them, like religiously, like people interceding on their behalf. I think people continuing to lean into the power of the Holy Spirit in a way that they never have. That's something personally in my own life that has changed even in the last 3 months. I've always believed in the power of the Holy Spirit, but God has just done some really cool things. He's like, hey, ding dong, like I've got this, like, and I'm gonna do some crazy things in and through you, but like you just gotta be the vessel.
So be willing.
Be willing to listen to what God's got for you. And then I think, just being there for people right now, especially in the dark times that we're facing. It's like, this world's continuing to be broken. So it's like, we got to get back to a little bit level of that humanity level, and just be like, when I wave to people in my neighborhood, it's like, they give me like the death glare. I'm like, why? It's Saturday morning. Like, you're walking your Labradoodle like down the street. I was like, why you gotta be so mean? It's like, I think we got to get back a little bit to that humanity level, and just it's like, hey, I'm rooting for you even if I don't know you, because it's like, I'm also rooting that Jesus meets you one day. So I think just getting back to that a little bit, and just leaning into that community piece, and then in that bringing the right people to step into high school and middle school ministry.
That's cool. So, what didn't we ask you that we should have?
Oh man.
I have a question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
If you could say one thing to the youth or the next generation, what would it be?
Man, I'll go back to my main thing, but like that God loves them more than they could ever imagine. He wants to be in a relationship with you. He's never left. He's never changed. He is that good father that we sing about every single Sunday. But then it's like, hey, if no one's willing to be there, it's like, call me, find me. It's like, I'll come show up for you. My team, because I believe in what our team will do. That's like, if no one else will root for those people, those teenagers out there, like we will. So we don't want them to feel alone. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
We love to end with a speed round.
Yeah, I did some studying. I studied up a little bit, so let's go.
Well, I love it because I have a new one that I haven't told anybody this, so this will be the first time.
I literally asked you yesterday, so
I didn't know. This is news to me.
Oh boy.
Okay, favorite color?
Blue, for sure.
Oh, we get a lot of blues.
Even though I wear a lot of black, I just more simple, but blue. I love blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite drink?
Oh man, I'm a huge Red Bull energy drink person. Yeah, especially with hanging out with Daniel. He's not a good influence. Yeah, so anything with caffeine, coffee, energy drinks. That's my main thing.
Favorite food?
Probably tacos. Yeah.
Where?
We had tacos at our wedding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we love Mexican food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite book?
Let's think about this one, but maybe not all-time favorite, but it's funny that it came to mind. But it's by Pastor Levi Lesko, and it's called Through the Eyes of a Lion. It's talking about the tragic loss that he had with his 5-year-old daughter from an asthma attack. She died in his arms, but it's talking about finding hope in the midst of suffering. And that's the first book that came to my mind. I was like, God, that is by no way a coincidence for what we're going through right now.
Right?
So, yeah.
I love it. What about a favorite sound?
This one, it took me a minute to think about, but I'm a huge car, truck guy anywhere. So like, yeah, I'm like weird, but any like that perfect exhaust note from like a big truck or a car, like I'm all about it. So yeah, I'm a gearhead deep down. So yeah, I love it.
Do you have a favorite podcast?
Becoming Something with Jonathan Pokluda, hands down all day. Give me some BSO.
Cool.
So yeah, they do like a BSO live once a year, and I almost flew out there this year and couldn't make it, but it's in Waco, Texas, so it takes a minute to get there.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, but BSO has been a game changer in my walk. So every Monday morning, BSO anyone should listen to it.
Love that. Do you have a favorite scripture?
Luke 9:23-27. Pick up your cross daily, die to yourself, follow Jesus. It's the mantra of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every day.
Favorite vacation?
Hawaii, hands down. Well, I was thinking Hawaii, but I will say I just got back from a 2-week stint in Europe, and we did Paris, Germany, and Italy for my buddy's wedding.
Nice.
And it's tough, but a private villa in Tuscany, Italy.
Sounds amazing.
Might be up there. But being on a little remote island of Hawaii is also a good time.
You can't go wrong either way, right?
So, but now that was a few weeks ago, so that's the high I'm coming off of my travel life.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so here's my new question. What do you want to be known for?
Man, that's good. I just want to be known for being me, and that I'll always be there for this generation, or as I get a little bit older every year, but for this next generation. It's like, as much as they can as a counting on a human, it's like, hey, I'm always going to give up. And it's like, I want to be that light as much as I tell my students to be that light. It's like, I'm going to try to emulate that light the best I can. And it's like that I'm here. I'm rooting for you.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I cannot wait to hear the feedback, because I always get notes from people about episodes and how it impacted them. And I feel like this is going to be one where someone's going to be impacted. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
That was good. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.